This is Talking Law on Radio 97. Do you have a question for our resident lawyer? If you do, pop it into an email and send it to us. There's a couple of ways to do that, and both of those addresses are available at radio97.com.au. Right there on the front page, all the contact info is there, radio97.com.au. Brooke, let's go back in time a little.
I'm so excited. Okay, so we found something, dusted it off in the studio. Despina, tell us what you think when you hear this. Take a listen. Oh.
On Radio 97, The 97 Lawyer, thanks to McLaughlin Solicitors.
97
Oh, it's punchy. What do you think, Des?
That goes back to
Wow. That goes back a very long time.
So I'm playing, sorry, I did hit the wrong button. So I'm playing that off cart. What is that noise? Oh, there we go. It's stopped now. I'm playing it off a fancy little cart tape because obviously, yeah, that's from mid-90s? Early 90s?
Yes, mid to late 90s. I'm pretty sure that was 30 years ago, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so quite a few decades ago when we did do the show back then on Radio 97. So,
does it bring back memories?
It does. It's very nice memories. So I'm excited you found that.
That was from way back early in your career.
Yes, very early on when my first debut, I think, on the radio airwaves. So that was pretty interesting. You found that.
I love it. It reminds me of a superhero, like you're the lawyer superhero. You run into the studio with a cape on. Radio 97. No, it was really cool. We might have to do a rework of it. Add some dubstep or something. Spice it up for 2022.
Yes.
All right. Segment 2, after that trip down at memory lane, we were just talking about everyday Joe Blow selling a car, a trailer, a motorbike, the issues you could possibly run into. And Paul, we got that example there, sticky situation that Despina had to deal with. But you're saying that this PPSR platform, the security that you can lodge is amazing. It's a bit of a secret weapon, but a lot of people don't know how to use it. So Despina, can you explain, I guess, PPSR, what is it? How can it save us?
Yes, so very briefly, we don't have a lot of time, so and really I can't canvass everything, but what I want to explain is the PPSR, when it came out, it was almost like a black hole, because what it did, and we're talking about the Personal Property Securities Register, which is national register, it replaced what we knew previously as lodging charges over companies and bill of sales. And people might remember those types of securities, and it replaced all of that. And this new act came out called the Personal Property Securities Act in 2009, Commonwealth Act. And it was sort of a black hole back then. And I think to some people it still is now, about, well, what does it all mean? How do I navigate around the act? How do I use this to my benefit? How does it protect me or not protect me? Or what do I do about securities, about lodging or managing or getting securities taken off if it affects you personally or your business or your company? So yeah, I thought we'd go through some things briefly, because it might be that someone out there has come across what I'm talking about and they have no idea what it means. And it actually can have quite significant ramifications for individuals, businesses, companies, and trusts. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about, as I said, a Commonwealth Act, and it's been out since 2009. So it's a national register, and it's governed by the Australian Financial Securities Authority, and the registrar has power under the Act to exercise and manage that for this register. So what it means is, really, there's, I suppose, 4 headings. You can search the Personal Property Securities Register if you want to find out if a car you want to buy, or a boat, or a trailer, or any other chattel has a security lodged. And that's important. So when you're looking to buy a car, does it have security? Is it leased? Does someone else, are they owed money before you go buy that car? So you can search the register. It's pretty cheap to be able to do that, very cheap. So you can search online to see if something's got a security. Then you can, the second heading is, you can actually register your own security, right? Over a particular item, and you can register it in relation to individuals, companies, trusts, businesses, etc. And you can manage and maintain those securities. So that's the third heading. Once you do register that, you might want to vary it down the track. You might want to change the term of the security, or maybe you're going to withdraw it at some point because you've been paid out the money that you are owed. So therefore, you no longer have to have security over that item.
What reasons would you have for registering here?
For registering here, so you're talking about, for example, if I want to register a security because I might be leasing a car to someone, I might be lending items, equipment to people through my business. So you want to lodge a security over that until that person returns the goods to you, or until you are paid out in full. Okay, if you've given a loan to someone and they've taken a car or some other item, you haven't been repaid, like I said, you're a lender, you want to take security. People lease vehicles all the time through their business. Those companies that you lease the vehicles from, they will have securities over those cars, 100%. So the fourth heading is if you want to dispute a security. So people might go around in their everyday business not realizing that their actual company, their business and their assets might have securities registered over them, rightly or wrongly. And when you lodge these securities, no one really vets them. So any person can just go on the register and lodge these securities, and then it stays on there, and those securities might have a valid basis and maybe they don't.
So the register actually contains entries that are in fact invalid.
They could be invalid, yes. So for both types of scenarios, so if you say I'm owed money from this person, they owe me, but there's no real basis for it, there's no real claim, you don't have any evidence to support that, but you just go lodge a security. Well, really, should you? Do you have a legal entitlement? So those claims might be held to be invalid at the end of the day if you can't prove you have a valid claim. On the flip side, if you're looking to lodge your security, you've got a valid claim, you're protecting an asset, and you need to lodge a security for a particular reason, a valid reason, you have to make sure you lodge it correctly as well, which it needs to be done by a lawyer who understands the PPSR, because otherwise that security is invalid. So at a basic level, for example, if you lodge a security over a company only over its name, and you don't lodge it over all three bases, which is the name, the ACN, and the ABN, then you may not have a valid security because you haven't lodged it over all of the relevant headings, the name, the ACN, and the ABN. So that's a common mistake. But yeah, it can work both ways. But the other important heading is if you want to dispute a security, which is what I did recently for a client. So a client had a security over their company and their assets of the company for 3 years. And the person who lodged it just said, no, I'm not removing it. You owe me money, which that person did not. And she just lodged it. Now, my client couldn't borrow money, couldn't deal with, couldn't do that because the bank said, you've got to get this security removed. We're not going to lend you money. Who's this person? What's this security? So after having it there for 3 years, I went on to the register and we actually got it removed. There's a process to follow. And we got it removed inside of 2 weeks.
Amazing.
So that person's very happy because now they can be free to go and, borrow money, make improvements to their hotel, and life will go on for them very happily. But yeah, it's something that, as I say, it's a bit of a black hole because people don't really know what it means. What is the PPSR? And it can actually be very important for people to understand it. So if anybody out there has been in the situation, I'm more than happy to help them off air.
Nice. Well, if anyone does want to get in touch with you directly, Despina, about this or any, query about the law, where can they go?
So they can phone the office 55 291 294. They can email info@prialalegal.com.au. And then this segment again will be uploaded on YouTube. But so hopefully people have got something out of this segment today because it is pretty important for every person out there listening.
Yeah. And as you said, it is a bit of a black hole. And you were saying that when it was first introduced, which is going back, a decade or more now, even some lawyers didn't understand it at the time. So it really can be a little confusing.
It can be. It's very difficult to navigate on there, and you really need to get a lawyer to who knows the PPSR to understand it and lodge that security for you properly. And even today, some lawyers still don't understand it because it's a bit of a niche area. But yeah, you definitely need that expertise.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much again for your time, Despina and Wayne. We'll be back next week for Talking Law.
And we'll see you then.
Great. See you then, guys.